Montana Television Network. This is the Noon News from Montana's news leader.
Good afternoon, and thanks so much for joining us on this Monday. I'm Aja Goare. A caravan of migrants arrived at the U.S. border over the weekend, but so far none of them have been allowed to enter. CBS's Hannah Doba has more.
Hundreds of migrants, most from Central America, arrived at the U.S.-Mexican border on Sunday. For many, it was the end of a month-long journey to get to the United States. But the caravan's members learned they would have to wait before they could even apply for asylum. Officials with U.S. Customs and Border Protection said their facility south of San Diego was full. The migrants won't be processed until space is available. The caravan has become a flashpoint in the debate over U.S. immigration policy. At a rally in Michigan on Saturday, President Trump said it's an example of why stronger laws are needed.
If a person puts their foot over the line, we have to take them into our country. We have to let them go to come back to court in like a year. Only one problem, they don't come back.
For now, the caravan's members are camped out in Tijuana as they await a chance to enter the U.S. Hannah Doba, CBS News, New York.
U.S. officials have said they will prosecute any migrants who make false statements when applying for asylum. Meanwhile, President Trump says a summit with North Korean leader Kim Jongun will probably take place in the next 3 or 4 weeks. Singapore and Mongolia have been mentioned as possible locations. But this morning, the president tweeted that Peace House on the border of North and South Korea might be a good location. The Trump administration still remains skeptical of Kim and says it must see actions and deeds before any agreements are reached. Meanwhile, tensions between President Trump and Montana Senator Jon Tester heating up, with the president claiming he has dirt on the Democrat. The latest allegations came Saturday evening at a campaign-style rally in Michigan.
And Tester started throwing out things that he's heard. Well, I know things about Tester that I could say too. And if I said them, he'd never be elected again.
President Trump called for Tester to resign this weekend after Tester came forward with concerns about Ronnie Jackson, the White House physician who withdrew from consideration for the top VA post last week. Senator Tester's office released this statement in response. Tester said, quote, "It's my duty to make sure Montana veterans get what they need and have earned, and I'll never stop fighting for them as their senator." Chippewa Cree law enforcement is warning residents on the Rocky Boy Indian Reservation of possible gang activity. In a Facebook post, the agency said the gang is known as OTB, which stands for Only the Boys. It's been operated by a man who recruits teens as young as 14. The group has vandalized public and personal property. Authorities are asking anyone who sees suspicious activity to contact police. A community watch meeting is planned for May 23rd at the police department. Family and friends are searching for a Wolf Point man who was assumed to have drowned after he jumped into the Missouri River on Friday to rescue someone. 40-year-old Jason B. Azure leapt in after someone fell in and was swept downstream. The other person was able to get out of the water, but Azure did not resurface. Azure's family is upset with slow response to search efforts. Authorities have not returned our calls for comment. A man is dead after his vehicle collided with a semi-truck near Broadus on Saturday. Montana Highway Patrol says the man was driving a Dodge Caravan and attempted to pass another vehicle on U.S. Highway 212. The man did not see the oncoming semi, and both drivers veered to the south side of the road, crashing head-on. The two vehicles became engulfed in flames. The driver of the Dodge was pronounced dead on scene. The driver of the semi was uninjured. The victim could not immediately be identified. And a rollover crash in Cascade claimed one life over the weekend. MHP says the single vehicle crash happened Saturday evening when 58-year-old Brian Lee failed to negotiate a right turn. The vehicle was traveling too fast and rolled off 1st Street Southwest near the interstate. Lee was not wearing a seatbelt and was ejected. Lee, a Great Falls resident, died at the scene. Authorities say alcohol might be a factor in this crash. The National Weather Service in Missoula issuing a flood warning for the Clark Fork River above Missoula. The warning is set to expire at 8:45 tomorrow morning or until the warning is canceled. The river is forecast to crest above 10 feet today, which could lead to flooding of low-lying areas. Streets in the Orchard Homes area, specifically the north end of Tower Street, including Kerwald Drive and Stone Street, will likely be affected. The Clark Fork River is expected to recede this afternoon. Meanwhile, snowmelt and rain could spell flooding troubles in Ravalli County. The sheriff asking residents to assess their situation and make necessary preparations now. The immediate forecast does not project the Bitter River to go above flood stage through next Friday, but sandbags will be made available at fire stations in surrounding areas. After the unexpected death of a Gallatin County woman who owned dozens of horses, the community has come together to help save the animals. Laura Frederick died about a month ago after a heart attack. Her husband, Donnie Rigel, was not only overwhelmed with grief, but the responsibility to care for more than 40 horses by himself. Rigel's neighbors saw the horses becoming malnourished and stepped in, reaching out to the Equus Save Foundation in Bozeman. That foundation immediately got involved with the community and other organizations like Western Montana Equine Rescue and Horse Haven to help.
From kill pen situations or situations like this one where it's just a bad set of circumstances where the lady has passed away and her horses are in desperate need of care.
Out of the 43 horses, Rigel plans on keeping 2 of them. Most of the horses are still available for adoption. A library project 10 years in the making is finally a reality in Judith Basin County. People from all over the county came together to celebrate the completion of the new Judith Basin Free Library. Now, the old library only had 2 rooms, but this one has multiple rooms and even a small kitchen. The library director says this success is because of the small but mighty community.
It is unbelievable to come from our little county. You know, the county that doesn't have a spotlight in our stoplight in the entire county, and that we were able to pull a project off like this.
Organizers say the renovations wouldn't be possible without the support from the residents countywide, who donated $1 million to remodel the library in Stanford. Still ahead on the Noon News, twin bombing attacks in the Middle East leave dozens dead, including journalists. Details from Afghanistan when we come back. But first, Ed has our weather forecast. Stay with us.
You're watching MTN News with Aja Goare, Storm Tracker weather with Ed McIntosh, and farm and ranch news from the Northern Egg Network. This is the Noon News on Q2. Montana's news leader.